It's funny, man. First off, peace. But it's funny, man. I was watching some of this Sports Center, and the hypocrisy is so blatant a lot of times with the standards that they're trying to implement in this society. A lot of times, the hypocrisy is so blatant that people will just certain people will just refute their own sentiments and not give a damn, right? Particularly mostly these so-called liberal females. And we're going to see this female on SportsCenter. Her name is Jamel Hill. She's going to project a sentiment that many females also adhere to in this society in regards to quote unquote marriage. But the interaction that they had, I think, provides for a good talking point. So let's see what they say about this marriage issue.
Why? Like you already know, I am not a fan of any form of public proposal. Well, no, not any form, in stadiums especially. And one, of course, that was a few months ago, I think, one at Kentucky. But take a look at this one at the Grand Rapids Griffins hockey game. It's on a whole new level of bad.
She's asking him, man. Is that a new thing or what?
That's the first time you ever seen that.
In a room. Yeah.
Now, as you can see, this young woman, she decides that she's going to propose to this gentleman or this man or whatever you want to call him and her. All right, so she proposes. She wants to be married to him, so she decides to propose. You would think that in this modern day society, with females claiming to be equal to men, that this should not be an issue. But the conversation that ensues between the two Sports Center anchors is going to show you the difference between the few females that actually believe in quote unquote equality as opposed to the ones who just believe in entitlement, right? Females with entitlement are the ones who oftentimes jump on the liberal bandwagon and use the philosophy of male, female, or gender equality as a Trojan horse mechanism to really just promote their own exaltation. In other words, they want all the good parts of being equal to men, but they don't want any of the bad parts. And those are usually the females that have a lot of mental problems behind closed doors. They're taking medication. They have relationship problems. That's why there's such a huge market for television shows today revolving around females that have all of these mental problems and relationship problems. Shows like, going all the way back to Sex in the City, and movies like Waiting to Exhale, all the way to today with shows like Girls on HBO, or now they have this new show that the black females are gravitating towards. I believe it's called Insecure. And they also have this show Scandal on ABC with Kerry Washington, where she basically gets to sleep with a bunch of white men. But the black woman doesn't petition to have those shows taken off the air, right? But let's see how Jamel Hill interprets this woman proposing to a man.
Exactly.
Now, we may have just seen it first.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was the gal asking the guy.
Yeah, she asked him to marry her. She
Awesome.
allegedly said this on YouTube in the comment section. Our relationship has been over the course of almost 7 years, and he proposed after our third year and had a breakup going into our 6th year.
It's 2017. This is very progressive.
No. Mm-mm.
Men love
You just
women
set us
that
back.
know what they
You
want.
set us back, sweetheart. You did. Because here.
Now, she said that the woman set them back. How could a woman proposing to a man have set back women if you're looking for equality, and now she's doing something that men have customarily been expected to do in regards to the concept that you people call, when I say you people, meaning society at large, call quote unquote marriage. And we're going to go into marriage and what marriage actually is as opposed to what this custom is in a minute. But let's see what this Kermit the Frog looking chick breaks down.
Here's the thing.
Sweetheart.
We don't get much, Mike, all right? We have the babies, right?
Which she's never had a child. All right. She's never had a child, but she just said, we have the baby. See, a lot of these women, they embrace the communal victimization or the communal, we do everything jargon. She's never had a child. So I don't know why she says we. She should have said women have children.
Okay, we all majority, as many government studies have found, we get paid less than men.
That's been proven to be a myth. Females do not get paid less than men. That is a complete myth. It's based totally on how much somebody makes, but it doesn't factor in hours worked. It doesn't factor in the normal type of jobs or vocations or careers that men seek, as opposed to the careers that most females seek after. That's a total fallacy that's been promoted by feminists and modern day liberal groups to promote that fake gender entitlement issue that she's suffering from right now. And as a matter of fact, she should be the last one complaining about entitlement, seeing as she's on a show with a man and she doesn't know anything about sports, but she's getting paid to talk about sports.
Man, can we just have this?
You buy people drinks and complain. This woman took it into her own hands. Stop. Can you stop for a second? Can I cut you off for a second?
Go ahead.
This is a big moment for me. My heart's beating so fast.
But it's just amazing to me the things that a lot of these these people will get on TV and say. I don't want to make it into a liberal female thing, because you have a lot of liberal males that are also male feminists that will say that will claim that a female is equal to a man, but then will still try to maintain quote unquote traditional male gender roles. Right? If you're going to be equal, you have to be equal the whole way. So now what they're going to do is they're going to bring out, it's supposed to be a surprise guest star. They're going to bring out her so-called significant other or her quote-unquote boyfriend. Let's see what ensues.
Fans of the His and Hers, the OG podcast, and His and Hers, and followers of me and Jamel, y'all know who Old Boy is, who is basically Jamel's Big from Sex and the City.
Now, for those who don't know, that so-called character of Big, that's supposed to represent some guy who comes in and out of her life, that supposedly is supposed to be her Mr. Right. But like a lot of these females, modern day liberal females, they have a hard time maintaining the relationship. So anyway, let's let the gentleman come out. Let's see what ensues.
I contend that Old Boy being at work, this is Old Boy. You've seen him in pictures, in the flesh. Old Boy is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. I contend this is bigger than him going to the White House. Because when stuff is going wrong in a relationship, the rule is do not bring that mess on my job. The converse of that is bringing Old Boy to the place of business.
You still won't know his name.
What's up, fam? Boy. People call you Old Boy on the street, huh? All the time. He's real.
Let's get back to the topic. Would you want a woman proposing to you?
No.
And no, this is not about to happen. But
Well, we know that it's not about to happen. You're almost 45 years old. That man is not going to propose to you. All right. Now, you see what she said. She asked him, would you want a woman to propose to you? If you truly believed in gender equality, why would you ask him if he would want a woman to propose to him? You're supposed to be a quote unquote strong black woman. You're supposed to do what you want without asking, right? So why would you ask him if he wants a woman to propose to him? And what is he supposed to say on national TV? I don't care, or yes, I would. What really is he supposed to say? He said, let me do that. Homeboy, come on. You've been with the chick for I don't know how many years. We both know you're not going to propose to this broad. You're using her for relevance. She probably got his Facebook and Instagram views up so much he could leave her whenever he want. Come on, man. You know, like how they say chicks know if they're going to sleep with a guy when they first see him. A dude knows if a chick is marriage material, quote unquote marriage material, after a couple months. He's not going to marry this broad. It's not going to happen. He's going to stretch it out as long as possible. Right now, he's trying to figure out how to get out of this relationship, but she's probably bringing so many perks to the table because of her job. They go on fancy vacations and stuff together. She's probably paying for most. I mean, he's probably just giving her some rod. Probably some dude got a nice little job. Maybe he's a personal trainer somewhere. He look like one of them personal trainer dudes. Probably giving her some rod. She taking him all over the world. As Michael Smith says, she took him to the White House. Right now, he's living large right now. So he's like, you know what? Let me see how much longer I could string this broad along. You can see it. You can tell by the look on his and her face. That's why he said, and that's probably why he said he doesn't want a woman to propose to him, because he's like, you know what? Let me do it, because he knows he's never going to propose. And he knows that if she proposes to him, he's going to say no, and he's going to be out of a lot of the perks. All right. But let's see what transpires here.
Anything?
What?
You said what you said?
And why did the music just stop? Like, what?
I don't know.
What do y'all expected?
You about to?
No.
You see what he said? He said, are you about to? In other words, are you about to propose? He said, because I'm not proposing to you. That's what that meant. Now, she's so stupid and she's so, honestly, so digmatized. She's laughing and cackling. The man just played her. Because she said, why'd the music stop? Are y'all expecting something? In other words, she said, were you expecting me to propose or is he going to propose? Because she was acting shocked. And then he stepped back and said, are you going to do something? Because in other words, I'm not going to do it.
No, I'm not.
It's lit.
No, it is not. We actually have
nice.
to.
Was I nice to them?
You did. You
See
did.
what I'm saying? Y'all think I'm hard on her. Y'all, if I wasn't nice.
Now look at how homeboy stared dead into the camera. He looking into the camera trying to, that's basically his way of trying to signal all the other women out there that look, I'm still open for business. All right. Right now, this is my main my main job, but I'm ready to do some side jobs. All right. That's all that meant.
Keep telling me.
All right, more
sports center after the break. We'll see y'all.
Yeah, that's good. No more Sports Center after the break for me. You know, the funny thing is that, and I was going to mention this in the midst of the clip, but, you know, just to go into it just a little bit, we'll probably touch on it on another video. But a man is not supposed to be getting down on one knee to propose to a woman in any way, shape, or form. That's not marriage. All right. That ritual comes from the worship of the goddess Venus. All right. That's why you get down on one knee. When you get down on one knee or two knees to bow before someone, that's to show worship. All right. What's called the proposal today comes from the worship of the goddess Venus. That's why you give a female a diamond ring. The diamond was the favorite jewel of the goddess Venus, the mother goddess, the goddess of love. All right. The ring finger, the ancient Egyptians believed that there was a vein on that led from the ring finger all the way to the heart. All right. And your heart represented the sun of your body. All right. That's where all that stuff comes from. You're not supposed to be getting down on one knee to propose to a woman. In ancient cultures, marriage was you courted a virgin, and on your marriage night, you took that girl's virginity. That's real marriage. Marriage is not getting down on one knee and giving a diamond ring so that she represents the goddess Venus, so that you can slide up in some vagina that the last 30 dudes didn't hit up. All right. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just thought it was interesting to see how quickly she was able to show how big of a hypocrite she was. Not only that she's so deeply in love with this dude and really so digmatized that she brought the guy on the show, and it's clear that the guy don't give two you know what's about her. All right. But anyway, peace.